I see the player, you mean. Tejie? Yes, take care. It has reached a higher level now. It can read our thoughts. That doesn't matter. I think it thinks we are a part of the game. I like this player. It played well. It did not give up, almost. It is reading our thoughts as though they were words on a screen. Fine. That is how it chooses to imagine many things when it is deep in the dream of a game. Words make a wonderful interface, very flexible and less terrifying than staring at the reality behind the screen. They used to hear videos before players could read. Back in the days when those who did not play called the players witches and warlocks. In players' dream, they flew through the air on sticks powered by demons. What did this player dream? The player dreamed of sunlight and trees, of fire and water. It dreamed and created, and it dreamed and destroyed. It dreamed and hunted and was hunted. It dreamed of shelter. Ha! The original interface, 1,000,000 years old, and it still works. But what true structure did this player create in the reality behind the screen? It worked with 1,000,000 others to sculpt the true world in the fold of the and created a for in the. It cannot read that thought. No, it has not achieved the highest level. That is sort of achieved in the long dream of life, not the short dream of a game. Does it know that we love it, that the universe is kind? Sometimes, through the noise of its thoughts, it hears the universe, yes. But there are times it is sad. In the long dream, it creates worlds out of no summer and shivers under a black sun, and it takes its sad creation for reality. The current of sorrow would destroy it. The sorrow is part of its own private task. We cannot interfere. Sometimes, when they are deep in dreams, I want to tell them they are building true worlds in reality. Sometimes I want to tell them of their importance to the universe. Sometimes when they have not made a true connection in a while, I want to help them speak the word they fear. It reads their thoughts. Sometimes I do not care. Sometimes I wish to tell them, this world you take for truth is mere and I wish to tell them that they're in the... they see so little of reality. Oh my god, it's going so fast. In their long dream. And yet they play the games. But it would be so easy to tell them. Too strong for the stream. To tell them how to live is to prevent them living. I will not tell the player how to live. The player is growing restless. I will tell the player a story, but not the truth. No, a story that contains the truth safely in a cage of words, not the naked truth that can burn over any distance. Give it a body again. Yes, player. Use its name. Tejie. Player of games. Good. Take a breath now. Thank God. Take another. Okay. Feel air in your lungs. Let your limbs return. Yes, move your fingers. Have a body yet. Under gravity and air. Respawn in a long dream. There you are. Your body touching the universe again at every point as you were to separate things. As though we were to separate things. Separate. Who are we? Once we were called the spirit of the mountain. Father, sun, mother, moon. Angel spirits. Ancient spirits. Jinn, ghosts, the green man. The gods, demons, angels, poltergeists, and... aliens, extraterrestrials, Lepton's corpse. The world changed. We do not change. We are the universe. We are everything you think isn't you. You are looking at us now through your skin and through your eyes. And what does the universe tell you through your skin and throw a light at you? To see you, player. To know you. And to be known. I shall tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was a player. That player was you, Tejie. Sometimes it thought itself human on the thin crust of a spinning globe of a molten rock. The ball of molten rock circled a ball of blazing gas that was 330,000 times more massive than it. They were so far apart that light took 8 minutes across the gap. The light from information from a star, it could burn through your skin from 150 million kilometers away. Sometimes the player dreamed it was a miner on the surface of a world that was flat and infinite. The sun was a square of white. The days were short. There was much to do, and death was a temporary inconvenience. Sometimes the player dreamed it was a story. Sometimes the player dreamed it was other things with other places. Sometimes these dreams were disturbing. Sometimes very beautiful indeed. Sometimes the player woke from one dream for another and woke to a third. Sometimes the player dreamed it was watching words on a screen. Let's go back. The atoms of the player were scattered in the grass, rivers, air, on the ground. A woman gathered the atoms. She drank and ate and inhaled, and the woman assembled the player in her body. And the player awoke from the warm, dark world of its mother's body into the long dream. And the player was a new story, never told before, written letters of DNA. And the player was a new program, never run before, generated by a source code 1,000,000,000 years old. And the player was a new human, never alive before, made of nothing from milk and love. What? You were the player, the story, the program, the human, made from nothing but milk and love. Let's go further back. The 7 billion atoms of the player's body were created long before the game, in the heart of a star. So the player's too is information from the star. And the player moves through a story, which is the story inflated by a man called Julian on a flat, infinite world created by a man named became Marcus that exists in a small private world. Okay, I'm like, it's getting cut off. Shush. Sometimes the player created a small private world that was soft in the worms. Sometimes the heart of gold is complicated. Sometimes it builds a model of it, whatever. Sometimes it calls the planets and stars. Sometimes I'm gonna just, you were player reading words. Shush. Sometimes the player reads lines of code on a screen, decoded them into words, decoded them into meaning, decoded them into feelings, decoded them into emotions, theories, ideas, and the player started to believe faster and deeper and realized it was alive. It was alive. Those 1,000 deaths had not been real. The player was alive. You are alive. And sometimes the player believed the universe had spoken to it through the sunlight that came through the shifting leaves of the summer trees. And sometimes the player believed that the universe had spoken to it through the light that fell from the crisp night sky of winter, where a fleck of light in the corner of the player's eye must be a star a million times faster. It's massive than the sun. Boiling, I'm gonna have to skip the one. It's gonna cut off. And sometimes the player believed the universe had spoken to it through zeros and ones, through the electricity of the world, through the scrolling dreams of a screen at the end of a dream. And the universe said, I love you. And the universe said, you have played the game well. And the universe said, everything you need is within you. And the universe said, you were stronger than you know. And the universe said, you were the daylight. And the universe said, you are the night. And the universe said, you are the darkness. Universe said, the darkness you fight is within you. And the universe said, the light you seek is within you. The universe said, stop laughing at me. The universe said that you are not alone. The universe said you are not separate from anything. And the universe said you are the universe tasting itself, talking to itself, reading its own code. And the universe, I said, I love you because you are love. And the game was over, and the player woke up from the dream, and the player began a new dream, and the player dreamed again, dreamed better, and the player was the universe, and the player was love. You are the player. Wake up. That's the last line. The last line is wake up. And you are muted.